1966 was a golden moment in soul, where Motown polish met Southern grit, and voices rose like testimonies in warm summer air. Smokey and the Miracles were still making lovers ache in the quiet hours, and deep in Memphis, a young soul preacher was about to deliver something unforgettable. These are 15 R&B songs from 1966 that slipped from memory, but never from the heart. Number 15. Nothing's Too Good for My Baby by Stevie Wonder.
Oh, my baby, I work part-time down in the neighborhood.
A bright burst of joy from Motown's own Wonder Kid. In 1966, Stevie was still in his teens, yet he carried a charisma that could light up any room. This track came during his transition from harmonica-wielding prodigy to full-blown soulful vocalist. Recorded with the legendary Funk Brothers, whose rhythm section wrapped the song in warm, dancing energy. Behind the scenes, Motown was carefully shaping Stevie's future, matching his youthful voice with uplifting, infectious melodies. This track didn't top the charts like his later classics, so it quietly slipped into the corners of memory. But if you listen closely, you can hear early hints of the genius he was becoming. The playful rhythmic phrasing, the layered call and response vocals, that bubbling happiness that only Stevie could deliver. Put it on today, and it feels like stepping into a 1960s Detroit block party. Kids playing double dutch, sunlight bouncing off storefront windows, joy woven into the asphalt. And if this one brought a smile, the next track brings something smoother and slower, a nighttime groove. Number 14, You Can't Hurry Love by the Supremes.
Use my mind. I need to find someone to call.
Released in the summer of 1966, this wasn't just another Motown single. This was Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, and Florence Ballard at the peak of their shimmering elegance. By this point, the Supremes were redefining what a girl group could be: polished, commanding, and full of emotional storytelling. The song was shaped by the legendary Holland Dozier Holland writing team, who pulled their inspiration from gospel messages about patience, heartache, and faith in love's timing.
How much more can I take before loneliness?
What makes this track so unforgettable is the contrast between the upbeat bounce of the rhythm and the quiet ache behind the lyrics. It sounds joyful, tambourines shaking like sunlight. But listen closer, and you hear a young woman holding on to hope through uncertainty. The Funk Brothers once again provided that signature Detroit sound: crisp drums, melodic bass line, and just enough horn shine to make the chorus soar. This song shot to the top of the charts and became a radio staple. Yet, somehow, in conversations about the Supremes' biggest hits, it slips behind the massive shadows of Stop, In the Name of Love, and Baby Love. But when it comes on today, you instantly remember what Motown felt like in sick, polished, powerful, unstoppable.
Can't hurry, love. No, you just have to wait, she said.
And if this one was the sound of hope, the next track leans deeper into longing, the kind that lingers like perfume on a quiet night. Number 13, I Want Someone by the Mad Lads.
I want a girl.
Now we drift down to Memphis, to Stax Records, where the air was thicker, the grooves were slower, and the harmonies came from the heart rather than the charts. The Mad Lads were still young men when they recorded I Want Someone in 1966. School-aged voices singing with the depth of grown heartbreak. Their harmonies carried that sweet church-schooled tenderness, like a Sunday choir humming long after service has ended. Stax didn't polish their records the way Motown did. And that's the beauty here. You can hear the room, the breath between phrases. The feeling of musicians playing inches from one another. The lead vocal aches, not in grand tears, but in quiet yearning. A kind of love that hurts because it's gentle. This wasn't a chart-topping single. It didn't sweep radio stations across the country, but it lived in local community centers, skating rinks, school dances, and summer porches. It's the kind of song couples slow dance to under dim lights, swaying softly, unsure of the future but hopeful in the moment. Play it now, and suddenly you're back in a time when love moves slow, when you wrote someone's name in notebook margins and meant it. If the last track was Motown Promise, this one is pure Southern soul longing. But don't settle too deep into melancholy. The next record brings a fire that could set a dance floor alight. Number 12, Land of 1,000 Dances by Wilson Pickett. In 1966, Wilson Pickett was pure electricity. Recorded at Fame Studios down in Muscle Shoals, this was where gospel training met street corner swagger, backed by a horn section that sounded like it was trying to break through the studio walls.
Y'all know I feel all right. I feel pretty good now.
Land of 1,000 Dances was already a song with history, but it was Pickett who turned it into a movement. There's a story behind that iconic "na na na na" chant. Na 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 na. Pickett almost didn't want to keep it. He thought it was too playful, too loose. But when the horns hit and the rhythm locked in, that chant became the heartbeat of the track. Something anyone could join in on, whether you were in a juke joint, a high school gym, or the backseat of your cousin's car with the radio turned up way too loud. This wasn't just a dance song. It was a permission slip to move, to laugh, to let go. And the way Pickett growls those lines, it's like he's daring you not to feel something. Every time the horns punch in, it feels like stepping into a packed club on a summer night. Sweat in the air, floorboards shaking, everybody alive. If this was raw, loud, unstoppable joy, the next track slides us into something smoother, silkier. A love song made for slow dancing close, where the world disappears. Number 11, Take Me, Just As I Am by Solomon Burke.
Take me, take me, take me now.
Now we step into the velvet-rich world of Solomon Burke, the king of rock and soul, whose voice could move from preacher soft to thunderstorm strong in the space of a single line. Released in 1966 on Atlantic Records, Take Me, Just As I Am, came at a moment when soul music wasn't just entertainment. It was expression, testimony, confession.
Let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. Everybody clap your hands one time.
Burke recorded this during a period when his catalog was expanding into deeper emotional territory. The man wasn't just singing about love. He was laying himself bare. And with Solomon, nothing was ever lukewarm. The arrangement wraps around him with warm organ swells, strolling bass, and backing vocals that circle him like a gospel chorus, reminding him he isn't alone.
Oh, darling, take me, take me, take me.
But here's the twist. This track never became as widely celebrated as his earlier hits like Everybody Needs Somebody to Love. It lived a quieter life, tucked into record collections, discovered by those who stayed for the deep cuts. The kind of folks who sat with the needle and played tracks all the way through. No skipping. And that's part of its magic.
Said, I've tried and I've tried. He found someone to love.
When Solomon Burke sings, Take Me As I Am, it's not desperation, it's truth. It's a grown man telling the world that love isn't about perfection. It's about honesty. You can almost see a dim-lit juke joint, slow ceiling fan overhead, couples standing close, foreheads touching, hearts speaking without words. If the last track was an explosion of life, this one is the soft exhale afterward. But don't get comfortable, because the next song brings us back to Motown, where heartbreak dressed itself in silk and sweet harmony. Number 10, What Becomes of the Broken-Hearted by Jimmy Ruffin. Here comes one of Motown's most tender heartbreak anthems, a song that aches from the first note. Jimmy Ruffin, older brother of David Ruffin from The Temptations, recorded this in 1906 when he was still searching for his defining moment. And with this song, he found it. The production carries that classic Motown elegance, the shimmering strings, the walking bass line, the gentle tambourine sitting just behind the beat. But what makes the track unforgettable is Jimmy's voice, steady, restrained, yet trembling with emotion just beneath the surface. He sings not like someone devastated in the moment, but like someone who has lived with heartbreak long enough to understand it. Behind the scenes, the song almost went to another artist. Imagine that. This timeless plea of a wounded soul nearly sung by someone else. But the moment Jimmy stepped into the booth, the arrangement and the emotion locked together like two hands clasping in the dark. This wasn't the kind of hit that made people dance. It made them remember. It played late at night on kitchen radios, early in the morning on bus rides, and quietly in bedrooms where someone was trying to make sense of love gone wrong. Its legacy continues in film soundtracks and wedding playlists, not for the ceremony, but for the quiet drive home after. Now what becomes of the broken-hearted? If this was soul trying to make peace with heartbreak, the next track brings something sweeter. A breezy love tune that floats like summer air through an open window. Number 9, Sweeter Than Sugar by the Four Tops.
Are you crazy? Swear on the baby about you.
Now we return to the unmistakable Motown groove, but with a lighter, more playful touch. The Four Tops were in a remarkable run during 1966, led by the deep and commanding voice of Levi Stubbs, whose vocals could make even the simplest lyric feel like a declaration of devotion. While songs like Reach Out, I'll Be There and Bernadette,
Here singing their #1 record, Reach Out, I'll Be There, are the Four Tops.
often steal the spotlight, Sweeter Than Sugar has its own glow. Subtle, warm, and full of charm. This track carries that classic Motown bounce, crisp drums, dancing bass lines, and smooth harmonies that feel effortless. It's the sound of strolling down a summer street with your best clothes on, the sun high, and your confidence even higher. Levi doesn't overpower here. He glides, letting the joy of the melody speak for itself. This wasn't the anthem blasting out of every jukebox, but it was the one you'd find on the B-side. The song you discover when the record keeps spinning. The one you hum without noticing. The one that reminds you that sometimes love isn't dramatic. It's just sweet. If this was effortless sweetness, the next track takes us somewhere more spiritual, where soul music becomes something like prayer. Number 8, I'll Always Love You by the Spinners, Before.
My sunshine away.
The Spinners became known for their lush Philly soul hits in the 1970s. They were a young group signed to Motown, searching for their breakthrough. I'll Always Love You released in 1966, is one of those early gems that quietly showed the depth of their harmonies long before the world fully recognized what they could do. You can hear the church roots in every layered vocal line. Voices weaving in and out, soft as cotton, but steady as truth. The arrangement is simple, almost understated by Motown standards. No explosive horns, no dramatic crescendos, just a gentle rhythm section and harmonies that feel like sitting on a porch at dusk, letting the world slow down around you. The Spinners hadn't yet found their signature producer or signature era. But this track is the seed, the promise.
Has opened my eyes for you.
The moment when you realize they were always destined to become one of soul's most elegant vocal groups. And when that chorus swells, it feels like a vow. Not shouted, not begged, just spoken with sincerity. The kind of love you don't outgrow. If this was devotion in its softest form, the next track gives us romance with a little more sway. The kind meant for holding someone close under low lights. Number 7, When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge.
2 big hit records in a row, Mr. Percy Sledge, When a Man Loves a Woman.
Here we arrive at one of the most heartfelt soul ballads to ever grace a radio speaker. When a Man Loves a Woman didn't just enter 1966. It washed over it like a tide you couldn't resist. Percy Sledge had been working as a hospital orderly in Alabama when he stepped into the studio to record this song, and you can hear that life in his voice. The long nights, the quiet heartbreaks, the tenderness learned through real living. The story goes that Percy offered the song to his bandmates in exchange for their support. He believed in the song so deeply he didn't care whose name appeared on the writing credits. That's the kind of humility and faith that sits at the core of great soul music. His vocal performance is raw, unfiltered, trembling with devotion. And the arrangement? Slow, steady, church-born, like a heartbeat learning to speak. When this song played at dances, couples didn't just sway, they held on. It's the sound of believing in love completely, even when it hurts. And if this one feels like a vow whispered in the dark, the next song brings us to a place of celebration. The kind that makes you want to move again. Number 6, Cool Jerk by the Capitals.
Come on, people.
Now we slide back into the dance floor, Detroit style. Cool Jerk, released in 1966, is pure rhythm and swagger. The Capitals were a local Detroit group looking for their breakout moment, and they found it when they teamed up with Motown's legendary Funk Brothers. Yes.
When they see me walking down the street, they think twice and then they...
The same musicians who powered the Supremes, Marvin Gaye, and the Temptations. But here's the twist. This wasn't a Motown release. It just sounds like one because the Funk Brothers lit the track on fire. Those drums hit with sharp precision. The bass line struts more than it walks, and the horn stabs feel like they're daring you not to move. This wasn't a song you sat still to. This was a song that pulled people into circles, onto dance floors, into laughter and rhythm. It became a hit in clubs long before it fully reached radio. It was street certified first. A groove passed hand to hand, party to party. And when that groove finally caught the airwaves, it was unstoppable.
Can you do it now? Come on, people.
If Percy Sledge was the sound of love's devotion, this was pure joy in motion. Shoulders loose, hips easy, spirits light. If these 1966 classics are bringing back memories, or maybe sparking new ones, go ahead and give this video a like. It truly helps keep this music alive for new ears and old souls alike. And stay with me. we've still got 5 more unforgettable tracks ahead. And trust me, the top 3 will hit deep. Number 5, I'm Your Puppet by James and Bobby Purify.
And I'll wink at you, I'm your puppet.
Here comes one of the gentlest smiles in all of soul music. I'm Your Puppet, released in 1966 on Bell Records, is a warm, easygoing love song that feels like sunlight drifting through a window on a late Sunday morning.
Pull a string and I'll wink at you.
James and Bobby Purify were cousins, and their voices blended with a natural closeness, like 2 people who'd grown up finishing each other's sentences. The production comes out of Muscle Shoals, where the sessions always carried a certain human warmth. You can hear it in the soft guitar strums, the slow breathing horns, the easy sway of the rhythm section. This is the kind of track where nothing is rushed.
Snap your fingers and I'll turn you some.
Love here isn't desperate or dramatic. It's comfortable, familiar, like resting your head on someone's shoulder who knows you deeply. There's a sweetness in the lyrics, the joy of being devoted, of choosing to put the heart of someone you love first. And in a decade full of big, powerful declarations, I'm Your Puppet stands out precisely because it's understated.
I'm your puppet.
It lingers. Picture a slow dance in the living room, socks on hardwood floor, no audience, no hurry. Just 2 people moving because they want to be close. That's this song, pure and simple. If this one softly wrapped its arms around love, the next track shows another side of it, the side where love is a choice that demands strength. Number 4, Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding.
Things that you'll never.
Now we step into a moment that feels almost sacred. Otis Redding recorded Try a Little Tenderness in late 1966, and while the song itself had existed since the 1930s, no one, before or since, has breathed life into it the way Otis did.
Got to pay. Oh.
This wasn't just a performance, it was a revelation. At Stax Studios in Memphis, Otis worked closely with Booker T and the MGs and the Memphis Horns to shape the arrangement. They built it slow, soft, steady, patient, like a hand reaching out gently. And then, as only Otis could, he rose.
But it's all so weak.
The song swells from quiet comfort to raw pleading intensity. By the final chorus, he's not merely singing, he's testifying. There's a story people don't always know. Otis insisted that the band not rush the tempo. He wanted the song to grow, to show that tenderness isn't weak. It's strong enough to hold an entire heart. This is soul stripped to its essence. A voice carrying love, longing, and a deep understanding that relationships are built in the smallest acts of care. You can almost smell the studio. Warm tube amps, cigarette smoke, music thick in the air. And Otis in the center of it all, eyes closed, giving everything. If this was tenderness on fire, what comes next is joy with elegance, a record that practically floats. Number 3, Let's Go Get Stoned by Ray Charles.
Go get stoned.
Yeah.
This one came with a wink, a laugh, and a whole lot of groove. Released in 1966 on ABC Paramount, Let's Go Get Stoned found Ray Charles in a moment of musical homecoming. He'd explored jazz, pop, and orchestral stylings.
I'm gonna buy myself a bottle of gin.
But this track brought him right back to that church-born, barrel house-rooted, down-home soul that first made the world take notice. The song was written by Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson. Yes, the same duo who'd become Motown royalty. And it was originally recorded by the Coasters. But when Ray touched it, the song took on a different life. He didn't perform it like a joke or a novelty tune.
Everything I try to do seems to always turn out.
He sang it like a release, like that moment after a hard week when laughter finally cracks open the tension. And listen to that groove. The organ hums warm, the horns sway easy, the drums sit back just enough to let Ray's voice pull you in. This wasn't about getting wild. It was about letting go, together.
I think everybody ought to come on and go with me.
It became a jukebox favorite, a barroom anthem, a song folks would hum under their breath, walking home after midnight. If Otis Redding asked us to love deeper, Ray Charles reminds us that sometimes you just need to breathe, laugh, and loosen your shoulders. But don't let yourself get too relaxed. The next track takes us into one of the most sophisticated slow burns of the decade. Number 2, Just One Look by Doris Troy, 1966 reissue revival.
And I felt so hard.
Now here's a song that returned in 1966 like a memory you didn't realize you'd been holding. Just One Look was originally released by Doris Troy in 1963, but it surged back onto radios and jukeboxes in '66. Thanks to renewed airplay in dance halls, military bases overseas, and college record swaps. And when it came back, it hit hard, like spotting someone across the room and feeling your whole world rearrange. Doris Troy wrote this song from her own heart. No committee, no polish, just pure emotional truth. The track was recorded at Atlantic Records with a stripped-down arrangement that let her voice shine. Smoky, powerful, full of self-assurance and vulnerability at once. Her delivery doesn't beg for love, it declares it. Just one look, and I fell so hard. A simple line, but sung like a lightning strike. What made its 1966 resurgence feel so special was how it connected with a new wave of young lovers. Military couples danced to it before deployment.
Just one look.
Teenagers played it on cheap portable turntables in bedrooms covered in posters. Newlyweds slow danced to it in kitchens after the wedding day glow had settled into real life. This track didn't explode onto the charts the second time around. It soaked in. It became one of those, "Oh, I forgot how much I love this" songs. The kind that hits you in the chest before you even remember why. And if this one was a spark of instant connection, nothing is going to prepare you for the emotional weight waiting at number 1. Number 1, Reach Out, I'll Be There by the Four Tops.
Here singing their number 1 record, Reach Out, I'll Be There, are the Four Tops.
Here we arrive at the mountaintop. Released in 1906 on Motown's soul-stamped Gordy label, Reach Out, I'll Be There stands as one of the most dramatic emotional recordings of the decade.
Now, darling, reach out, just reach out.
Levi Stubbs doesn't just sing this song, he pleads it, like a man standing in the doorway of someone's heartbreak, promising he won't let them fall. Holland Dozier Holland crafted this production to feel cinematic. The galloping drums, the chilling flute line, the way the arrangement surges into the chorus like a wave crashing against the shore.
I'll be there.
Levi's voice sits right on the edge, rough, trembling, but full of devotion so strong it's almost overwhelming. This was soulless theater, soulless faith, soulless strength offered with open palms. And people felt it. This was the song couples leaned on during long-distance separations, breakups, reconciliations.
Just get by. I know what you're thinking. You're alone.
And those quiet late-night moments when love needs reassurance more than poetry. It hit number 1 one around the world, not by being sweet, but by being true. It's the sound of someone saying, "You're not alone. I've got you." No matter how many years pass, that promise never fades. From Motown's polished sparkle to Stax's raw heartbeat, from dance floor joy to quiet kitchen heartbreak, 1966 was a year where soul music spoke directly to the human spirit. These weren't just songs. They were memories, prayers, hand-holding moments, and truth-telling confessions wrapped in rhythm and harmony. Thank you for taking this soul stroll with us. If you enjoyed rediscovering these forgotten gems, subscribe to keep the groove alive. We've got plenty more journeys through classic R&B, sweet soul, and timeless slow jams ahead. And now, go ahead and click the video on screen to continue the ride with our next chapter in the story. 15. Underrated 1966 R&B hits you forgot were awesome. You don't want to miss this.